This video is sponsored by BigMarleyMMA.com. Kyle Marley is up over 250 units in the last 2+ years on his premium bets. Go to BigMarleyMMA.com and use the coupon code PROSPICKS at checkout. That will get you 10% off his weekly packages.
I think Adesanya has the skill sets to beat Costa, but Costa's just got that X factor. Same thing like Yoel, big, powerful, cardio, chin. Hard to say. I'd probably lean towards Costa. Now, if I was a betting man, I'd probably go towards Adesanya. But I think Costa would make some good money too.
That's the interesting one, and I give the edge to Costa. I believe that he's gonna come in with that furious pace, pressure, power, and just try to walk through Adesanya. And Adesanya is a good counter fighter as well, so he might clip Costa on the way in. But when I see it, I see Costa winning. So it's gonna be interesting.
Great fight, but I think the Adesanya gonna win this fight. I think decision for Adesanya.
Oh man, that's such a good fight. I'm so excited to see that. Costa was out for a little bit, so I think Israel is gonna win. I think he's just more on time and more ready. But let's see how it'll be. I think it's gonna be a great fight.
Man, that one's one of the fights of the year, right? They're talking about, I think Israel's going to fight smart. He always kind of does. I don't think he's going to fall into any kind of brawling, but that's what Costa's style is like. He wants to move forward and just kind of bring the heat. I think Israel's just the higher skilled guy. He has better cardio. He went through that war against Gastelum. I think that's going to help him out in this fight. And I think he's just going to be the better skilled striker and get the job done by decision.
Gosh, man, talk about a fight. I'm excited about that one, man. Holy cow. Oh, that is... I can't pick one on that, man. I don't know. Costa hasn't fought in quite a while, though, right? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily believe in ring rust, so I'm sure he'll be fine. But, yeah, talk about... That's like freaking force versus the slickest man. I don't know. I'm just excited to watch it.
I'm gonna go Costa. I think he puts the pressure on him and takes a few of his shots, but ends up catching Izzy with something.
Oh, obviously I'm excited for that one. So again, back to the Uriah Hall one. I think Israel Adesanya does that even better, right? And I think that he makes Costa miss enough to run into something. The only thing he's going to watch out for, like I said, Paulo Costa will walk forward to a fault, which he should. He's freaking gigantic. He could probably fight a heavyweight if he wanted to, right? So a lot of shots aren't going to hurt him, especially because, and one thing, not that I agree that this is the best defense in the world, but when you're that huge, if you're just going forward and you're staying with your head down and you can see everything coming, you can take a lot of damage. It's not the smartest way to fight necessarily, but when you're that huge, it's all right, you might pepper me with a quick jab, but I'm going to, sling some hammers at you and maybe put you to sleep. So he's got to watch out for getting backed up against the cage too much with that. But I think if he sticks and moves, he can get, he could possibly TKO Costa because Costa's so big and strong that he could time him or make him frustrated and go into something. So, get Costa to swing big, and he catches one that he doesn't see coming, and that puts him down.
There's a very, very clear winner to that fight, and it's the fans, because that fight is going to be. Man, I'm so glad you brought this up. That fight is so intriguing to me. It is somebody who fights purely on emotion in Paulo Costa, and somebody who fights with no emotion at all with Israel Adesanya. It is fire versus ice. Complete polar opposites that want to do the exact same thing. It is going to be an amazing fight. I don't have a winner for you because I have no idea. I know that in my brain, Paulo Costa is going to win the first 2 rounds, and then I have no idea after that.
If Paulo Costa, I've never really seen Israel Adesanya on the ground, but I can't see Paulo Costa being smart enough to just try and wrestle him and everything else. So I think Israel Adesanya is going to pull off a decision win there.
I think Israel's going to take it. They're both really tough. I don't really think I need to be the PR person to sell this fight. I think just looking at both of those guys and looking at their highlights, the fight absolutely sells itself. But
it's a funny game that they're playing. You know, it's almost like unreal, the trash talk that's going on. You have people who are like, this is the most fabricated rivalry, and then other people who are like, oh no, I mean, it clearly seems like they don't like each other. You know, there's a lot of controversy behind Paulo and his, you know, talking about not being drug tested by USADA and the fact that he's been caught IVing in the past, even though he wasn't supposed to. And, you know, it is weird, you know, like the dude just does not pass the smell test, but Israel's a gamer, you know, he wanted to fight Yoel Romero. He shows up, and I'll go with Israel on this one.
Man, look, I'm going to tell you this right now. Israel Adesanya is probably the most intelligent fighter out there. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care if they try to bash him for his past with Yoel Romero. I honestly believe that Israel is just going to piece up Costa the whole time. Costa is an angry fighter. Costa's a forward pressure. Costa does not have skills and technique. He's just trying to knock you out, while this whole entire time Israel Adesanya is going to play the range, play on the outside, use his teeps, use his leg kicks, use everything to frustrate. And he's going to dance around him. He's going to go around there. It's going to be tough for a couple rounds, and that's exactly what's going to happen, just like when we saw Paulo and him. But the styles make fights, and Israel's not easy to hit. And Israel's not going to stand there and trade with him one for one. Israel's going to counter a lot. He's going to move side to side, which Costa is just a forward guy with, I mean, he hits hard. That's it.
I think Stylebender is going to be too slick for him. I think with all that muscle, trying to swing for the fences, I don't think it's going to be an entertaining fight. I think it's going to be kind of play like the Romero kind of fight, kind of like that, like kind of more Matador versus Bull type of thing. It's not going to be entertaining, but it's going to be very technical. It's going to be cool to watch for a fighter, but not as a fan. No.
Adesanya. I think Paulo Costa, I really liked Paulo Costa at, like, when he first started kind of coming up, but I feel like he's kind of put on this like persona that's not really him, that he's trying to stick with, and I think Adesanya is just true to himself, and I think he's going to be hard to beat.
Man, I'm not quite on the Costa hype train yet. I was very impressed with his performance over Yoel Romero, though. I will give him that. Like, that kind of started edging me that way, but it's either he's going to go out there and just overpower Israel and get a quick finish, or he's just going to find a swag in his range and pick him apart, and I can see Adesanya taking the victory.
I think Adesanya. Yeah, I think he's smart and he doesn't get touched.
Thanks for watching this video, sponsored by BigMarleyMMA.com. Kyle Marley is up over 250 units in the last 2+ years on his premium bets. Go to BigMarleyMMA.com and use the coupon code PROSPICS at checkout. That will get you 10% off his weekly packages.